Hello everyone and welcome back to Magic Arena. I'm Trent from Tabletop and this is my co-host, Tuna. And today we're going to be exploring one of the decks that I've been theory crafting for the last few days. I spent like a day and a half on this one. I created a bunch of new decks on Sunday that I'm going to be showing with you all throughout the week, and hopefully a little bit beyond that. But I've been fine-tuning this one in particular because there's just so many ways to play with it. So the concept of Grand Explosion is that you use the Irencrag fleet in order to go with the double vision. So you'll be getting 14 mana with double vision, and then you'll be able to use that for something like Finale of Promise or Finale of Devastation, or the other ones. And the one that works, the only one that works, is the one that is white, and we don't have that color inside our spectrum, because the one that's white will give us a whole bunch of angel tokens that are XX. But once we get 10 mana or more on Finale of Promise, all we get to do is triple the amount of spells we played, and it's really, really dumb because it's instant card or sorcery card or sorcery. So you can have one instant and one sorcery. So you have to have the instant and the sorcery inside your graveyard before it even works. And the only good ones that we can run are going to be low mana cost ones, because clearly we can't run anything higher than that because we need removal, because it takes a little bit of time in order to get our engine going. So I was running a couple more ideas. So there's a thing that I like to use, which is Phosphorus Intervention. Now what this does is that for X cost and a red, you can create an X1 red creature with trample and haste, and we sacrifice it at the beginning of our end step. Now that's great, except I didn't want to play around with this for too much. It's a dead card inside your hand when you're starting off low, and near the end of it, you're still at risk with getting removed. So you're going to have to run something like Heroic Intervention in order to make sure he doesn't get killed. But also, if you play the Intervention with the Irencrag, you cannot play any more spells. Literally, this is the last spell that you play, so you can't even play the Heroic Intervention. And in order to win the game, we also have Fiery Emancipation. And these are the three cards that this deck is built around. And that's when I realized that maybe, just maybe, my romanticized version of Grand Finale just wasn't going to work. So I moved it around. And now we're seeing something like an Elemental / Reclamation deck. So we're not running Reclamation because we're going to use Irencrag Fleet in order to double our mana a couple of times in order to use the expansion. However, if we manage to get the Fiery Emancipation out, that means we don't even need to use the Explosion as many times as we need. And the good thing about this one that's better than Tamer Reclamation, even though Reclamation is arguably better, it's definitely better, it's just Jank. But the thing about this one is that if you play the Explosion and you pay X costs, the X costs will be copied a couple of times. I thought when you copy Explosion, it just, the first spell is normal, and then the other ones are just duds. But it turns out, you can actually use this, and let's say you put tree, blue, blue, red, red. That means you're doing 3 damage. With Fiery Emancipation, that's 9 damage. And with 2 Fiery Emancipations, that's 27 damage. So one of these explosions will be more than enough to kill them, but the other thing is that if they counter Explosion, the double vision will still go off. So the double vision will copy the 2 explosions here. So you'll still do like 54 damage. However, it's probably going to be a little bit less than that because usually we only get 1. And the reason why we're using elementals instead of something like Growth Spiral and Uro and everything like that is because we want more value for our Genesis Ultimatum. And let me tell you, it's so hilarious once you get double vision and you get Genesis Ultimatum, because then you're just getting everything on the field. I was playing with Growth Spirals, I was playing with Cultivates, but they do not work with Ultimatum. So I moved that around. So we got the Leafkin Druid and the Risen Reef in order to proc off each other. Cavalier Torrens to grab a couple of things and to get things back from our graveyard because we're going to be populating quite a bit. Nissa to multiply the mana advantage. And it's not really necessary here, but it's good to have one of this just so that they have an answer. They need to answer it. The Ultimatum will grab the Fiery Emancipation, will grab the Double Vision, will grab the Irencrag Fleet. And now I was thinking of running also the Shark Typhoon, because Shark Typhoon works great, right? Because it gives you card draw, it gives you more things to populate your board with, it gives you flyers. The problem with that is that this deck is so condensed, and that just having the sharks isn't enough. It's not a win con. drawing 1 is basically a 1/1 or an X1. Even with the Irencrag fleet, you can make a 21/21, whatchamacall, Shark Typhoon, or Baby Shark. And they can get removed pretty easily with Shatter the Sky and whatnot. So we want to play around that. So we want to use the explosion in order to win our games. Or we also have Cavalier Torrens with the Emancipation. And then just go for face. And if you put in the Omnid Locus of Royal, we can also deal triple damage with Fire Emancipation. But I think that is about everything I want to say. We're just going to look at the distribution over here. There are 29 lands here, so almost half of the deck is just lands. That is the reason why we don't use something like Cultivate, because we want to use the Risen Reef, because it gives us a 1/1 as well as possible mana. Leafkin also gives us mana. Cavalier also gives us mana. And yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to say about this. So let's get right into the first game. Okay. Not the worst hand. We do have the color coverage for the Locus of the Royal. We played the Leafkin Druid. Paradise Druid. Play this. Into this. Opponent doesn't block. If we go into the tap land, untapped land, we could have played the Royal. Sadly not the case here. Okay, so what we're gonna do instead, play this. Steam Vents. Perfect. Want to work towards this ultimatum. And we can steal expansion on whatever it is they're doing. Plays a Nissa. No, I can't copy that. Gets to force, attacks. No blocks here. Play the Royal. Does 2 damage. We'll do 2 damage onto the Paradise Druid. Play a land. Turns this into a 4/4. Crack this land. Okay, we're going to grab a blue source. It's another counter. Opponent plays an island. Plays plain white celebration in order to make this indestructible. Oof.
Speaks, I shall listen.
So Steam Vent turns to a 6/6. Then Fiery Emancipation. To this. And that's game! Oh yeah, all planned, all planned. Okay, we're going first. We have the tree for the Cavalier of Thorns, but we are going to be... We are short on red. Very sad. To play the Royal and to play the Ultimatum. Don't need this because it requires 3 red sources that we don't currently have. And are highly unlikely to get at this rate. But at least we can play the Cavalier of Thorns. Play this into the Leafkin. This This means we can play our Cavalier Torns next turn to peer the top 5 cards, hopefully grab ourselves a mountain. Aha! Yes, this is first. Risen Reef. The Risen Reef I kind of want in my graveyard because when Cavalier dies, we can always get it back. I should have played the untapped source. Damn it. It's okay. It's been a very long and exhausting process in order to craft this deck. That my brain cells is currently thinking how best to do everything, while the other half of my brain is saying, why are you doing this? Okay. Yeah, we have to do this. Grab a stomping ground. What are we missing, actually? We have blue, blue. We don't have enough red. 1 blue, 3 greens. We don't need that extra green. So we're just going to grab a stomping ground because it's dual colored. We have too much green. 2, 3 blue. 3 blue. If only this was split into 2. If that was split into 2, this would have been great. Opponent going mad with all of the pulls here. And we without a board wipe. Although we're not too fussed if we don't have a board wipe. Grabs a Hydra, gets a 1/1. Okay, that's perfect for us. How best to do this? Yeah, so we're gonna grab this, one of these, blue source, one of this, to pay for the Locust Roar. No, to pay for... Alright, what do we need first? We need to remove this. We need to get this out. In order to do that, we need 1 green, 1 blue, and the rest can be whatever color we want. And we want to get the Risen Reef out first, because then we can play the Locust, which will proc the Risen Reef. And we will deal 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, actually. 4 damage. We should take this out. Enters tapped. Puts another 1 onto our... I think we should put 1 to our Leafkin Druid. Got rid of their Risen Reef. And the reason why we did all that in that kind of order and tapped the Leafkin is because we can still have our land for turn. And this will proc the Omnit Locus of Royal. Allowing us to grab that extra counter. Whereas if we played it first, we would not have gotten the counter from the Royal, and all we have is an untapped Druid Leafkin, which is arguably not as good. Because we can still attack with both, but he'll block. Opponent is playing a Vicious Watcher, which is a very scary, scary, scary monster. Because whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell, the Vicious Watcher fights up to 1 target you don't control. Oh boy. Oh boy. The last thing I need is to fight against an 8/7. Which I won't do. And of course we get the Cavalier of Torns. God damn it. That would have been a really nice pull for the ultimatum. And look at all the special things that we've got over here. At least we get to draw a whole bunch of cards thanks to the Omnit. Okay. Into the Torns. Into the Torns. Into the Torns. Boom. Onto the Torns again. And there's the Fiery Emancipation. And the Double Vision. And the Genesis Ultimatum. And the Temple of Abandon. Boom! Scry, we do not need another Double Vision. Do we have enough mana, actually? Attack with this, clearly. We have 5, 10, 13. 13 mana. 13 mana plus the one we're going to play next turn. We don't need any more lands. So we play Double Vision, and then we'll have enough for Genesis Ultimatum, and that means we get to proc Genesis Ultimatum twice. Okay. Now this is where we want to be. Or I could just Explosion and end the game, which is arguably less fun. Because then we can just play Fiery Emancipation for 6, for the remaining 7. The remaining 7, it's 4, 3, 9. No, we could end this, actually. Could not end it next turn. Though there's probably something I'm overlooking. What is it that I'm overlooking? Because we play the Fiery Emancipation. Oh, and then we play the Irencrag Fleet. And that will give us the extra mana that we need in order to end the game. Which I think is the play to make, because this board is starting to look scary, and the only thing I have is an Ugin that can probably wipe this out. So we're just gonna take the damage for now. Perfect. 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 Do this. We'll have 4, 5, 5 times 3 is 15, not enough. 15 plus the Irencrag Fleet, however. So, Fiery Emancipation. Oh, I forgot about the Druid, so that's 16. And what do we need here? Red. But we need to keep out blues. So, red from you. Blue from you. You know what? Just gonna click it all. Play the Irencrag. And then we'll have 3 blues, 3 greens. Which won't give us what we need. Could play this right now. And deal 4 plus 2, 6, 6, 18. Yep. Have some cards. GG's. Okay. Not gonna lie. Not a great hand. Mulligan. Definitely keeping this. I think we want to put back one of the forests. We want to keep the Ultimatum, we want to keep the Cavalier. Yeah, one of the forests, and we'll grab it back with the Fabled Passage we need to. We can use the Triomine turn 1. And let's see how this goes. We don't have any early removal spells, sadly. So we're just going to have to play it by ear here. Temple of Abandon. Nissa. Do I want a Nissa? I think it's more important that we grab our 5th land source. Okay. And that should be more than enough here. So the good thing about this curve is that you can play Double Vision. And then you can play the Irencrag the turn afterwards, Double Vision. But more importantly, you can play Double Vision into the Genesis Ultimatum here. So we're just going to do that. Kind of want to draw more lands, so we're not going to crack the Fabled Passage into afterwards to increase the probability of there being land on top. Even if it's slightly... It's very minute, but it's there. And our fate rewards us with... a shock. No! No! Absolute trash. What do we need? Okay, got a green in hand. We need 3 blues. I say we get another island here. Next turn we can play the forest into the Double Vision. The opponent is playing a Luca deck. Okay. So he's going to be making a bunch of... No, he's not actually making a bunch of tokens in order to cheat things out. That's very new. What is the play to make here? I think the play to make here is to play the Cavalier, grab the land. That way we're only one away. Yes. Play the Temple of Mysteries, which will proc after the Cavalier. The Explosion, we do not need. We want to reach our 7th land. Or do we? Yeah, that's probably it. Okay. Because then we play Double Vision. Turn afterwards, we can play Genesis Ultimatum and get 10 cards off. But knowing our luck, we drew 2 Ugins. They're all in our hand.
My tactics.
There is 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 lands played so far, so there is 19 lands left. Opponent kills our Cavalier, that's no problem. We get something back from our graveyard, put it on top. What do we want to take? That's a good question. Maybe one of our lands. Yeah, I think let's split them. We'll grab the Temple Abandoned to guarantee the land. Exile the Cavalier. Opponent plays Paradise Druid, so they can minus it to the Luca. Play the Double Vision. Play the Temple of Abandon. The Royal. Locus of the Royal, I really wanted you, but I don't need you in my hand. Alright, will opponent -2 to get the Dracus? If he does that, he can't use the -7 ability. Or at least 2 more turns. Opponent gets a Titan Ape, which is perfect for us. Okay, here's the plan. Pay for this. Get rid of all their stuff. But we'll get rid of Double Vision too, and I don't want that. Ah, that's shit. That's really shit. But I can't really... We can't leave this unanswered. I really wanted the Genesis Ultimatum choice. Ugh. It's fine, it's fine. Oh! And we, as luck would have it, we have a second chance at this. Yeah, we can take 1 turn of damage from the Titan Ape. The problem is we didn't want to leave the Luca out, because Luca could have plussed and got more advantage. And I forgot the Ape destroys enchantments. God damn it. And we got the Fiery Emancipation. Aha! I bet you thought you saw the last of me. Opponent's currently contemplating what to do. If he has a Razor, that'd be terrible. Okay. Play the Fiery Emancipation. Or play the Genesis Ultimatum. Ultimatum, because we might get a second one of these. Okay, grab the Nissa, grab the Leapkins, grab some of these. And we'll have 3 mana if we did this. But we'll also have the Nissa. So do we play Land Return? Did not. Okay. So what we can do here, we can plus this. And this is what? I need 1 more red. So this is red, red, green, red, blue, green, blue. But this isn't... No, this isn't a 4, so this is only blue. But this is only red, so this is red, red, green, red, green. So that's what? 5. I need to get 1 more. To get 1 more, all I have to do is simply do this. Grab this. Grab the red. Grab the red source here. And we just need one more red source. Easily enough. Pop this out.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Pay for the emancipation. Then we plus the Ugin to deal 9 damage to the face. Oh my god. Kona, do you not see how I'm wrecking the opponent, so to speak? Opponent is currently thinking about destroying my land. Dick move. I just love the animation for that. Up until I decided to play this deck, I've never seen the animation for Fiery Emancipation. I believe that should be game. Plus this. Deals 9 to face. But we don't have trample. And Gamer bows out. We're going first. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. Have the 2 red sources. Play this. Should we save the Leafkin? Because we'll get Double Vision out early, but we don't have anything to do with it. Just sad. So we're just going to put up Temple Abandoned and see what we can dig. And we dig out another land, which will guarantee us... We're already guaranteed the Leafkin, so I want another... We're already guaranteed this. We want something to interact with that, though. And that's what we're after. Triomine would work. So we're not going to play the Leafkin this time. We're going to save it for Risen Reef. And then activate the turn afterwards in order to grab potentially an extra card, potentially something else. And there is the Ultimatum. Now, will the Reef find us something? Or will they deny us with Lofty Denial? Come at me, you little punk. So original. Opponent is cycling. Oh goody. Play the Druid. Play the Triomine. Next turn, play Double Vision. And we'll actually have enough to do the Ultimatum 1 turn in advance because of the Leafkin. So we don't want to risk the Leafkin. The Leafkin has enough health that it will stay alive for a little bit. So play... What do we need to play? This is all 3 the colors we need. Okay, we need to put out a blue source. Play Double Vision. Put them into a false sense of security. You little monster, play something. I know you have a counterspell. I hate the fact that he has a blue left. Okay, there we go. Now, the thing about this one is that its activated ability is a monstrous ability. So, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Fuck that. That is such a broken thing. What do we have here? Green, green, blue, 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 red, and 1 red. Just what we need. Play triple ult. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Ugin, Nissa, Omnit, Boom, Breathe in Pool. Oh yeah. We'll deal 2 damage. Put 1 on the Leafkin. Remove this. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Cavalier Torns. Gimme that. Gimme, gimme. Oh, yes. Okay, gimme those islands. Gonna want to pump up the Cavalier Torrent just in case they have another flyer later on. And there's the explosion. Oh, next turn is going to be bonkers. And they give up anyway. Yeah, next turn would have been an absolutely monstrous turn. Let's take a look at that. If we were to given the chance to have our next turn, we would have played a second Double Vision, taking out 5 of our mana. But then we'll play the Irencrag Fleet, which will give us... And we play with these 5, and then we pay with this 4. In order to play the Irencrag Fleet, we'll still have the green, the blue, and the blue left over here, because we just pay with these 3 reds, and then the green, yeah. So we play blue, blue, and then 21 reds, 2 of which will go into here, and that leaves us with 19. So we'll draw 19 cards, and then since Double Vision is here twice, that will be 19, 38, that will be 57 damage. Not including the Ugin, of course. Oh wow, that's a lot of greens. This is terrible. Okay, a little bit better, because we have the Risen Reef here. The Emancipation we don't need. What the fuck is up with our land distribution? What's going on here? I did not notice we only had 2 islands. Ah. It is what it is. Maybe we can trick the opponent into playing on Cultivate or something, and then we can expansion it and give it back to us. The opponent is playing Ramp. Okay, that's good. Okay. Oh my god. Not bad. Not exactly the greatest hand. Though a few Scrylands would have went a long way in this one. But we do have color correction here, so I'm not going to question it too much. Triomi. So now we're at 5 lands, so we can play... Yeah, we can play 90% of our deck now. Opponent is playing a Innkeeper, along with a Falmir, to get the 1/1 Death Touch creature out. We are just going to keep going to town on this, and then we're going to remove their value engine of the Edgewall Innkeeper next turn, once we play the Omelet using his Enter Battle effect, so they don't get any more return on value. And of course they play their Regisaur. Okay, what can we do here? You know what we can do? And it's going to be hilarious. Is that next turn, I am going to play an Ugin. Because we are going to have 1 mana spare. We're going to play the Irencrag Fleet. And then with that we have 8 mana. And with 8 mana, we can get rid of everything. Come on, play your Murderous Rider. Do it, do it, do it! Ah. Grabs a counter. And what am I going to do? I'm going to bait the opponent and use their removal spell, because I don't want them using the Murderous Rider on the Ugin. There we go. Come at me, biatch! There we go. Got rid of his field. Does he have a second Murderous Rider? He does not, and that is game. Okay. This is not too bad. I do want to get one more red source. I want 1 more red source. So the plan is to play the Steam Vents, Breeding Pool, Fable Passage, and in between those 3 turns we'll get our red source. Because if we get our red source, we can play the Irencrag Fleet, which cheats out the Emancipation a turn early. Which we don't really need if you think about it. Yeah, I think the best thing to do is actually go for the Cavalier Torns. And then hopefully we'll manage to reach the 3 red source in order to play these later. The most important thing at the moment is to get the Cavalier of Thorns activation. So breeding pool. Opponent is playing red. We are going to play our steam vents. Getting a little bit scary that we didn't draw a land first turn. 29 freaking lands in my deck. Oh, I feel so special. I feel so special. What to do? Yeah, getting the green is the most perfect thing to do here because we can play the Locust of the Royal if we manage to get a untapped land next turn. Or we can cheat out the Emancipation on turn 4. And then we play the Royal on turn 5, assuming that we can't get an extra land for the Cavalier Thorns. Mine. Play expansion, grab the shock, kill the perfect pet. And hopefully they don't have a counter spell. Lofty Denial, no! You little monster. Not the best. Oh my god. We can't even cheat out Fiery Emancipation because we don't have 2 more red sources. At the very least, we can still use Risen Reef twice next turn. This is why we play the Elementals. It's basically like Growth Spiral. It's basically like Growth Spiral, except it gives you a little bit more return on your investment. However, the downside is that being a CMC cost of 3, it is still susceptible to things like Claim the Firstborn and removal spells, because it's only a 1/1. It's a value engine that is very, very brittle. Of course they take back the Lofty Denial. Of course they have Blitz of Thunder Raptor. Come on, man. I'm gonna need you to get me a land. Oh, goody. Now what can I do with it? Jack crap. Okay. What's the plan? What is the plan? We need to grab a green source. We need to play the Risen Reef, because we cannot risk a turn without another land, because we need to play our Cavalier Thorns right now in order to block the flyer. Sadness. And that's game. Why is it game? Because they have Lofty Denial in their hands. We cannot play anything to beat this. GG's. Next game. It's a good thing we got a Therapy Cat over here, otherwise I would be so not pleased with the mana screwage that's going on. But at least we have 2 Scries, 2 Elementals, 3 Elementals, which should be enough. Grab the blue source because we need blue in order to hit the ultimatum once we grab it. We have the 3 mana for the Cavalier of Thorns. And what is the plan here? If I play this... we can play the Leafkin Druid. And if we play the Druid, we'll have 3 greens next turn plus the island. So we'll have... what was it? 1, 2, 3. So we won't be able to play... we won't be able to play the Cavalier Thorns next turn anyway. So we're just going to play this tap because we're going to save the activation for the Leafkin Druid. Or for the Risen Reef, I mean. Opponent is playing a Sanctum deck. This is a race against the clock now. Boom. Boom. We need to be as fast as possible. They got the Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest, arguably the most powerful one that they could get this stage in the game. The problem with this... Yep, of course he plays the route. The problem with this is that it's very slow, extremely slow. But once you have 3 or 4 Sanctums on the field, you're basically golden. He's going to play the Sanctum of All next turn as well. So we'll have one more turn or to do something. We need the untapped source, but we can't. We can't do that. Okay, play the Epiphany, see what's coming next. It's a Temporal Mystery, okay. Play the Leafkin. There's only one way to win this game now, and it's to play the Cavalier Torrens into the Fiery Emancipation. And that way we can outdamage how much they're going to heal with the Stone Fangs and with the Cleansing Flare. I don't know, they don't have the Halbing Cleansing Flare, this is standard. Okay, so they only have a few things here. They still have Gates Ablaze. Plays the Sanctum of All. Okay, we have the Ugin. We have the Ugin. It's game. Okay. Just for giggles. Play the Triomine. Play another Triomine. This is 5, so we're going to lose our Cavalier, which is fine. Opponent will get the Sanctum of Calm Waters, which activates during his upkeep, or in pre-combat phase. So he gets all his cards back now. And hopefully he plays all of his Sanctums, because then we can laugh in his face. Plays the Growth Spiral. Okay, okay. Plays a land. Plays another land. Plays the Gate Ablaze. Perfect for us. Why is it perfect for us? Because we don't want to get rid of our Cavalier Torrens using our Ugin. We'd rather save that. Opponent still has 2 cards in hand. Opponent still has 4 cards in hand. Discards 2. Play Ugin. Boom. Boom. 5. Play Temple of Abandoned. Double Vision. Not what we want to see at the moment. Plays the Uro. Gain some health. Can summon the Uro, actually. Plays a second Uro instead. Why you play a second Uro instead of playing the actual Uro? Yeah, because he was going to give up. Okay. Okay, opponent's going first. We are on the draw. Because we are on the draw, we have Temple of Mystery, Risen Reef. Nice curve going on. Could go for a couple of more plays though. Risen Reef, always good to have. Especially with this load up. Here comes the $1 million question. Play this into the Reef. Then we'll have 4 mana activated next turn. That means the turn afterwards, we can play the Cavalier Torrens 1 turn early. Set the play to make, or should we be digging? I think inside this deck, digging is the best idea. So we want to get off as many Risen Reef activations as possible. Opponent is clearly playing some sort of salty deck. They're probably going to run Casualty of War. So we don't want to be affected by that. But there's not much we can do about it. Except ramp up faster than they can destroy us. Boom. Okay. Play the Barashka. Destroy the Risen Reef. What do we do? Play the Nissa to get rid of the Barashka. can summon a Leafkin Druid. Which I think is the play to make. Because we want to have a little bit more mana in case we draw the ultimatum. Because we're currently sitting around... Oh, with Nissa we more than have enough. Opponent destroys our breeding pool. Very sad. Okay. I think we should play the Risen Reef first. Okay, play the Risen Reef. Grab a Cavalier. 3 counters on this.
The land fights
Plays the Cavalier. Get the Risen Reef activation. Explosion. Another Forest for our Nissa. Oh, that is painful. That is painful. They took 2 of our ultimatums, an expansion and the fiery emancipation. Of all the things we could have gotten. Of all the things that could have happened. Enters tap. Enters tap. No attacks. How much mana are we sitting on at the moment? It's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 mana. 13, 14 with the druids.
I am in need of rest.
Gives us back our ultimatum. Thank you very much for that. Do I want to block that? No. I'm quite happy with the current situation. Play this. Yep, play this. And we whiffed. We whiffed so hard. So hard. Got 2 scries out of it and 2 Irencrag fleets. Don't need a land. Don't need a Cavalier. Actually, Cavalier might be nice. Next turn we can block the Hydra with one of the Leafkins. They probably have another one. Actually, I just don't... I want to take this. Because if they use Casualty of War and destroy the other Leafkin, I don't think... I know we have more than enough thanks to the ramp we just did. And it's always nice to have an extra source of mana, isn't it? I use the Ugin, the Ineffable. The -3. -1. Okay. Could destroy it. Could use this. Draw more cards. Draw into a solution. What do we have? This is 4. This is 4, 6. So we'll have 6 damage with the expansion explosion. Add an extra 3, 9 damage. We'll have 9 damage. But is 9 damage enough? I don't think 9 damage would be enough. Be enough to take this out. Alright, let's do it. Resolve. Tap, tap, tap. And that is 1, 8, 10. Miscounted there. Actually, we deal 10 damage to face here. That means next turn we can deal 10 damage again with the other explosion, and then we'll win the game that way. One. Can we play anything? Just play this. Discard 6 cards. Opponent can deal 4 damage to face, and because they're not running any red spells, they won't be able to deal any damage to us directly. They would be able to heal, but I don't think they're going for that kind of archetype. And they do not pump up the Hydra.
Ether itself serves me.
Grabs the Fine Broker. Gets back to Varashka. Summons the Varashka. Destroys the Leafkin. Or sacrifices the Fine Broker. Nope, kills the Leafkin. Alright. Play the Irencrag. Grab that. Tap the Leafkin. Grab the rest of the mana. Activate Expansion Explosion for 10 more damage. Just enough to win the game. And here you go, buddy. Have some cards. Good game.